breaking down the illogical aspects and absurdities of creationist cosmology. Welcome back to ScienceGod, where we delve deep into the intersection of science and faith, where we challenge everything from the origins of the cosmos to the nature of the Creator himself. Religion gives man purpose, but science gives him the power to pursue it. All right, we're about to go over the 8 different levels of creationist beliefs and how they intertwine with science. Creationist beliefs span a wide spectrum, from the complete rejection of science to the near full acceptance. But they all share one thread in common: a belief in a god or a deity of some kind that guides the process of creation. Since the question of God's existence is philosophical in nature, it falls outside the realm of empirical science. So I won't be addressing that here. For those interested, I have other videos that delve into the philosophical aspects of belief, meaning, and purpose. Instead, this video will focus on the well-established scientific principles that creationists, to varying degrees, reject. My goal here is to expose the misconceptions and falsehoods behind these outdated religious claims, while showing how faith, when properly understood, can harmonize with the wisdom that science provides. And in doing so, I hope that we can use the best that both worldviews have to offer. Well, let's get into it. Starting with level 1, the most unscientific. These are called scriptural literalists, flat earthers, or geocentric creationists. Geocentric meaning the earth is at the center of the universe rather than the sun. At least the sun being the center of the solar system. These individuals reject all modern science. They believe that the earth is essentially a divine terrarium. They often cite Bible verses such as Psalms 93:1, which they interpret to mean that the earth is immovable. However, examining different Bible translations makes it clear that immovable is not necessarily literal. Let's take a quick look at a few. Psalms 93:1 from the New International Version. The Lord reigns. He is robed in majesty. The Lord is robed in majesty and armed with strength. Indeed, the world is established, firm, and secure. Here's Psalms 93:1 from the New Living Translation. The Lord is king. He is robed in majesty. Indeed, the Lord is robed in majesty and armed with strength. The world stands firm and cannot be shaken. Here's Psalms 93:1 from the English Standard Version. The Lord reigns. He is robed in majesty. The Lord is robed. He has put on strength as his belt. Yes, the world is established and it shall never be moved. And just one more. Psalms 93:1 from the King James Version. The Lord reigneth. He is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he has girt himself. The world is established, that it cannot be moved. Another verse that the flat earthers tend to cite is Genesis 1:6, which describes the firmament, which sometimes is understood as a solid dome over the earth. Again, let's take a quick look at some of the different Bible translations to see how accurate this firmament idea is. Genesis 1:6 from the New International Version. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." Here's Genesis 1:6 from the New Living Translation. Then God said, "Let there be a space between the waters, to separate the waters from the heavens, from the waters of the earth." Here's Genesis 1:6 from the English Standard Version. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the water, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And finally, one more, Genesis 1:6 from the King James Version. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and let it divide waters from the waters." Now, although I find their faith in its certainty, in the literal certainty of the Bible, to be rather admirable, these individuals are misguided in their rejection of well-established science. They believe the earth is only a few thousand years old, and that all life exists in the same form as it was originally created. Moving on, level 2. This is also not scientific. And personally, these are the ones that kind of get under my skin the most. The young earth creationists. Similar to the scriptural literalists, but without the belief that the world is flat, they assert that the world was created in 6 literal days about 6,000 years ago. Some attempt to use geology and other science to support their view, but these interpretations have been widely refuted by mainstream science, of course. Level 3, this is also rather unscientific, but it's getting a little bit closer. These folks are called the gap creationists. This belief suggests that a time gap between the first 2 verses of Genesis, posing that the universe was initially created and then millions of years went by, and then life was formed over 6 literal days. This view accommodates an older Earth while maintaining a literal interpretation of Scripture. Moving on. Level 4. These are the day-age creationists. In this perspective, the 6 days of creation are understood as a long, indefinite periods, possibly spanning millions or even billions of years. This interpretation seeks to reconcile Scripture with geological and astronomical events for an ancient Earth. Moving on, level 5, progressive creationists. This theory proposes multiple separate creation events over time, allowing for the clear evolutionary lineages observed in the fossil record. However, it attributes these developments to divine intervention rather than natural selection or evolutionary processes. All right, now I think is when it starts getting really interesting. Level 6, intelligent design. Similar to progressive creationists, intelligent design, which is led by the Discovery Institute, frames creationists as a scientific endeavor. While accepting some aspects of science, such as common descent and geological time, it rejects evolutionary biology as an explanation for life's complexity, arguing that an intelligent designer must be responsible. Now here's level 7. This is where I personally find myself. Theistic evolution. This perspective accepts the scientific principles of evolution, but holds that a deity intervenes at key moments or has a guiding plan for the entire process. Personally, this is the view that I align with, as it harmonizes faith with scientific understanding. And then the last level of creationists is called deistic evolution. Now, this is the most scientifically aligned of all the creationist perspectives. Deistic evolution suggests that a deity set the universal laws into place and set the Big Bang into motion, but then plays no further role in the development of life. Natural selection and natural processes are fully responsible for the diversity of life as we know it.